Wagwan, everybody. I am your Jamaican Queen, Miss Y. You're tuned into How I See It TV, and this is Accurate Context. Before we get into this live stream, please remember to like this video, share the link to my channel if you feel like the content needs some more crowd. Subscribe if you have not done so as yet. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, now called X, at How I See It, and on TikTok at How I See It TV. All right, so right now we're talking married to medicine. And last night's episode, with a mix of the prior episode, because it's accurate context after all, so we have to start from the beginning. So let's start with the couples game, where Quad got drunk. Several of the cast members, they pointed it out that she had about 7 glasses. They were counted, not me. But they said she had about 7. Even the editors, they were, being funny, and they edited in how many times she took a sip of something, right? So at the couples game, where they were talking about, different things, how long people dated before they became physical or intimate, and then also how many times a week the couples get intimate. So in that scene, Quad was just doing the most. And I think if people are being honest, even if G felt some type of way, even if he was jealous, even if he was heated, even if he was in his feelings, whatever the words that y'all want to use, bothered, whatever word that y'all want to use, envious, whatever word y'all want to use, even if he felt some type of way, at the end of the day, he was not saying anything. He was not the one talking, 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 talking. Quad was. And it was clear that she was trying to poke and poke and poke and poke and poke and finding a button to push that would make G respond. And the truth is, he did not respond. He did not respond until she started to feel like it was her place to cross a boundary of trying to tell this married couple that they needed to have more sex. And then she made a backhanded statement, knowing that Letitia was having or was having difficulties conceiving. She made this backhanded statement saying, "Oh, a baby Lunsford is coming, y'all." That for me felt like a dig. And then after she started to be funny, "Oh, a baby Lunsford is coming, y'all. A baby Lunsford is coming." She turns back around. Again, Dr. G isn't saying anything. Sweet Tea isn't saying anything. She turns back around and she's like, y'all should let me plan y'all's baby shower. It would be fabulous. Y'all should let me plan your baby shower. They're still not saying anything until Dr. G finally says, "Listen, we don't care about your opinions. We don't care about your opinions." And then Quad responds, "And we don't care about your opinions over here either." But the truth is, Dr. G was giving his opinions on Quad's relationship. He was being quiet until in my opinion, he felt like she was doing some backhanded funny stuff, taking digs at his wife. And he finally said, "We don't care about your opinion." And then he said, "You have a big effing mouth." Because she was yapping and yapping and yapping and yapping and yapping and yapping and yapping the whole time, turning her whole body around. Because remember, they were sitting behind her, shady producers. Because y'all could have had them sitting on opposite ends of the pool. But because y'all wanted that back and forth to happen, y'all made sure that they were sitting close enough to each other that they could hear whatever the other was saying. So that happens, and it spirals. It spirals out of control. It spirals out of control. And then we get to the next day. And the next day they're at the sandbar. So let me drop these photo evidence, all right? So here they are at the sandbar. Everything has calmed down. Everybody seems to be having fun. And the men, the men are having a conversation about the night before. And Dr. G says, listen, things got a little bit out of hand. you know, I was bothered by her speaking on my current marriage, but I don't mean her any disrespect, and I don't mean you any disrespect. And then he says, and Dr. G, this is where I have a problem with you. Because I agree with the men who said, you know what, you had a big effing mouth in that moment for even repeating what you said to Quad. Because truth be told, what you said wasn't bad, but you misquoted yourself by saying you told her that she talks effing much. She talks too effing much. And that's not even what you said. You said she got a big effing mouth because she was doing the most. Now, King, I don't know how you gonna stand there and say, "Oh, you didn't hear when he said she has a big effing mouth," when you are literally sitting in front of them and they were the only ones talking. So this is how I know Kirk, because I'm not calling him no darn King. Kirk is full of poopy because, sir, you heard exactly what he said. They were going back and forth. And truth be told, Quad started to be disrespectful first. Quad started to be disrespectful first. And that's when he decided to say something back to her. So the men have this conversation on the sand. And to me, it was squashed because Dr. G and King both say, listen, I don't have an issue with you. You don't have an issue with me. And for me, it was done right there. So everybody moves on. And then all of a sudden, things start to pop off in the water amongst the women. Because even though Dr. Heavenly, aka Hellish, aka Dentist the Menace, wants to say that she told Phaedra Apollo was coming, the fact still remains nobody told Phaedra that Shireen was also coming. And Heavenly knew that Apollo wasn't coming alone. Heavenly knew Apollo was not coming alone. And from last year's reunion, everybody was made aware that Phaedra and Apollo's new wife, they do not get along. Phaedra said she and this woman don't even speak. She says this at the reunion. So this is not a situation like a Quad and a Dr. G. Sweet Tea wasn't some side chick that helped to end G's marriage and now he's married to her. She's a woman that met Dr. G 3 years after he got a divorce. She met him 3 years after he got a divorce. 3 years later, Quad should be over it and Dr. G should be over it. Dr. G has been solidly a part of that group even after he left the show. And let me give y'all some tea that y'all might not know. They did not want Dr. G to leave the show. They wanted to follow, and this is allegedly, purveyors of pop, they wanted to follow the dynamics of Quad and Dr. G throughout their divorce. But Dr. G decided that he did not want to come back to the show. Quad stayed on, and for several seasons, some members of the cast have been trying to fight Quad off the show. And we saw that last season, right? Season 8 and season 9, Quad was basically a friend of. Season 10, she literally had 8 episodes, and 8 of those episodes was her begging to still be a part of the show, the friend group. The friend group is the show. Okay? And for people who like to say, oh, Dr. G and T came on the show to antagonize Quad, I don't see how. I don't see how. When they weren't filming with her, how do you antagonize somebody that you're not filming with? If anything, Quad was the one being antagonistic because why are you popping up to the bachelorette party of your ex-husband's fiance that you've never met, you've never had a conversation with, you've never seen one on one? Oh, I know, because the cast wasn't filming with you. The women weren't filming with you. They weren't effing with you. And so Phaedra had to bring you to that group scene, which was Sweet Tea's bachelorette party. So how did G and T come to antagonize Quad when she was barely on the show? Let's be for real. Let's be for real. But anyways, I digress. So now Shireen and Phaedra, they're getting into it. And when Phaedra walks off, because why are you talking to me, Shireen? Like that was Phaedra's energy. Like, girl, why are you talking to me? Why do you care who I am dating? Why does Apollo care who I'm having fun with? Phaedra has said several times it's nothing serious between her and Check. Phaedra is having fun. And nothing is wrong with that. She's been married, been there, done that, and she doesn't desire that. She wants to date. She wants to date and have fun. And that's what she was doing with Chet. She brought him on the trip so that they could get to know each other more. Right? So Shireen and Apollo comes on the trip, and now they find out that Czech and Apollo and Shireen, they all know each other. Right? And they're all up in Phaedra's business. And Sweet Tea rightfully asks Shireen, like, why are you here? And this is where it's reality TV versus reality. And you have the two meeting in this moment. Because in reality, Phaedra, Apollo, and Shireen, they don't have that kind of dynamic where they can even be cordial. And it's not even Apollo and Phaedra that's the issue. It's Phaedra and Shireen who don't have that kind of a relationship. They don't vibe. As Phaedra shares, Shireen, while she was pregnant with her second son, Shireen, Shireen, Shireen was out there creeping with Apollo. And this is according to Phaedra. So this is why I'm saying the dynamics between Greg and Quad and Sweet Tea are different. They can absolutely be cordial. When it comes to Phaedra and Shireen, it's a different dynamic. So Phaedra walks off and Sweet Tea is asking the questions that we all needed to hear asked. Why are you here, Shireen? Who invited you? And Sweet Tea turns to heaven and is like, girl, why are you being messy? Phaedra already told us on the reunion, and this is me adding stuff to the conversation. Phaedra already told us that she don't even talk to this lady. So why would you want them to be in this space on a whole deserted island? Why? So Heavenly decided that she's gonna get rah rah because how dare Sweet Tea ask her any question. And this is the thing that I hate about this group, that you have these doctors, Heavenly and a Jackie and a Simone, that feels like who feel like they should not be questioned and they should not be held accountable for their bad behavior. And so Heavenly wants to get rowdy, and Sweetie checks her. Like, Lady, sit your old behind down. And you know what? The Lord sat heavenly down back in that water, and that was so funny. And that was so funny. So now that escalates, and all the men, excepting for King, they're running to go and check on their women, on their women. So here's Dr. G taking Sweet Tea from that situation, calming her down. Right? Let me put that clip, that picture, that photo up, because I'm trying to prove to y'all how King was wrong in this situation. Nobody's gonna tell me differently. He was being a weirdo. He was being thirsty for camera time. So let's go. So here is Dr. G in the circle. That's Dr. G taking Sweet Tea away from the melee of it all. Sweet Tea is still trying to pull away because she wants to get to heavenly still. She still wants to cuss that old lady out. And look who is walking towards them in the orange board shorts. Yep. You got it right, King. He's walking towards them, talking about some yo G. And I'm like, I know this ninja sees this man trying to take his wife away from a very intense situation. He's trying to calm her down. He's holding her back. Why are you trying to walk up on him at this point in time? And he's still walking up. So next clip. It's Phaedra trying to, get Sweet Tea to calm down. Dr. G hugging his wife, telling him like, babe, let it go. It's all good. Like, let's not even get into any more fights today. He's still trying to calm his wife down. And here goes King wanting a moment. This Kermit the Frog wanting a moment. He is still in their space trying to get Dr. G's attention. G is focused on his wife. And here comes Cricket chirping, 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 wanting a moment. And then he has the nerve to go to the green screen to say, oh, I felt like this was a great time to pull G to the side, and talk to him one on one away from the men where, his ego doesn't have to get involved. You were trying to boost your ego here because you probably felt like if you had talked to him the way you did in front of the other men, they would have clocked you as being a weirdo. Because when y'all had this first conversation and y'all addressed it, and he said, and you said to him that, you know, he should apologize to Quad, what he said to you was responsibility needs to be taken on both sides. And that's the fact. You can't have your lady going off on this man who wasn't even talking to her. But because she wanted a moment so bad, she was poking, 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 turning her whole body around to talk to him and his new wife. You can't have her doing that. And then in the next breath, you want to tell this man that he can't respond. That's immaturity right there. Because these two people aren't strangers. Let's be clear. They have history. They know how each other, they probably know each other's mentality better than anybody else on the cast. So when Quad was popping off, she was doing it because she knew how to press G's buttons. He was ignoring her and she was trying to press his buttons. So you know what? He clapped back. So again, Dr. G trying to in the circle, trying to calm his wife down. He's not worried about Quad. He's not worried about King. And Dr. G's man, he's like, we had a conversation earlier, and we squashed it. I agree that I'm willing to own my part and apologize, but responsibility needs to be taken on both sides. And I agree. Because if he's going to apologize for telling her you got a big effing mouth, then she needs to apologize for trying to insert herself in this man's marriage and the possibility of him having a baby and a baby shower and all of that. She crossed a whole boundary. It wasn't okay. So again, King still getting closer, trying to talk about some, you know, we don't got no issues, but I wanna talk to him. Let me talk to him. So Phaedra says, okay, fine. She takes Sweetie, to the side with her, and Dr. G and Kirk, they go to talk. And for me, the conversation started off disrespectfully. Because he's trying to chin check another grown man. He didn't come to him on some, listen, I know we already talked earlier, but I'm still feeling some type of way. And so I just want to make sure that you intend on apologizing. No, that's not the energy he approached with. He approached him on some, I'm going to let last night slide, but moving forward, don't say nothing to her. And the man responds with, I don't want to say anything to her. Are you dumb? I was minding my own business. And she's the one that kept coming for me. I'm adding that. So Dr. G says, I don't I don't want to talk to her. I don't want to say nothing to her. But you gotta tell her not to say anything to me. And here goes King on some dumb, immature, young Jamaican man wanting to act like he's the boss of the situation. He's gonna say, nah, she can say whatever the F she wants. No, no, that's not how it works in real life, sir. And this is why I know that you wanted a moment. Because how do you sit there the night before and listen to everything that your girl was saying and then feel like this grown ass man cannot respond? How do you feel? And I don't care how any of y'all feel about Dr. G, Sweet Tea, Quad. I don't care. Even, let's go back to this. Let's go back to this. When Dr. G was trying to calm Sweet Tea down, even Quad was saying, T, listen to your husband. Go with your husband. That's what Quad was saying. So feel any way y'all want about Quad. In the moment, even Quad realized that, look, it's getting heated. She needs to step to the side with her husband, and Heavenly needs to go over there. Let's not create any more chaos on this trip. So why would King feel like that was the time to step to this man while he is trying to get his wife out of that situation? And to Greg's point, he's like, when King started to get all buff and trying to, make his voice deeper and whatnot, ready to fight, Greg said, you know what? I should have known that's how you are. I should have known that you would want to get physical because I know how your girl is. And I think what G was alluding to is the police report that I have seen with my own two eyes. The police reports that I have seen with my own two eyes that listed Quad as the aggressor in a DV situation, throwing glass and bowls and trying to attack somebody with a whole knife. When the police walked up into that house, they saw the knife on the living room floor and they documented that in the report. So when he said, I should have known that's how you are, I should have known that's how you are because I know how your girl is, meaning I know that your girl, the second you start to y'all start to argue, her first inclination is, in my opinion, to get physical, then y'all are one and the same, two peas in a pod. And then King, you just like Sweet Tea, need to stay out of that dynamic of Dr. G's and Quad's past. Because truth be told, y'all are never going to know everything. So when King is going to say to Dr. G, I know about the past, and Dr. G says, you know her version of the story. How dare you now say to this man, well, tell me your side? Not the place and not the time. And who the hell are you? Who the hell are you to, on a beach in the middle of nowhere, want to know his side of the story? You don't really care to know his side of the story because you could find his side of the story by running a quick background check on Quad. Truth be told. Truth be told. You want to know his side of the story? Run a quick background check on your girl. It's gonna pull up everything that you need to know. I have already shared on this channel in a previous video that the girl does not just have one DUI, allegedly. Y'all can go pay the coins and look it up yourself. It's called public record. So when he says in this scene, you know, I know how she gets and she was drinking, the man knows what he's talking about. We saw it. We saw it. It was the wrong place and the wrong time. This was supposed to be the priority. Dr. G calming his wife down was supposed to be the priority. Not King wanting a moment on camera, pulling him to the side, and feeling like he's going to chin check a man, a grown man, about some ish that you don't even know about, for real, for real. And funny, I think even Scott said on the boat as they were driving to the sandbar, in like a flashback to a scene that they didn't show. Scott said King and Sweet Tea, they had a whole conversation and took a shot together. So that just goes to show you T is on some, their past is their past and it's none of our business. This is not our fight. Let's stay out of it. But you go to the beach and you wanted a moment, Kirk. You wanted a moment. And you want to tell this man that while Quad is coming for him, talking all kind of crazy ish to him, he's supposed to sit there and soak it in and not say anything until she's done. And then he's supposed to get up and come to you and say, yo, man to man, tell your girl, tell your girl, don't talk to me like that. That's not reality, especially when you're dealing with an ex-wife. Especially when you're dealing with an ex-wife. The reality is you're not going to wait to go talk to her new dude about how she's coming for you. You're going to tell her in the moment, yo, don't talk to me like that. You got a big effing mouth for real. Because why are you drunk and belligerent right now? Why are you doing the most? Why are you doing the most? Isn't that crazy? He's going to tell this man, Koi can say whatever she wants to say, but he's not supposed to say nothing. And y'all are going to cape for this kind of behavior because y'all dislike Dr. G. I get it. But y'all need to be a little bit more balanced in your analysis of a situation. There was a whole lot going on. And look at King walking up to this man as he is trying to take care of his wife. He is focused on his wife. He's focused on making sure his wife doesn't get in a physical altercation with Heavenly. Only for this ninja in a purple shorts to walk up to them to walk up to them to seek a moment for camera time. King was wrong. King was absolutely wrong. He could have waited until the vibe was a little bit more chill. He could have waited for dinner. I'm looking at the what you call that, the sneak peek for next week, and it seems like everybody's gonna be coming together in what looks like yellow and white. So he could have waited until that round table to say, "Hey, G, remember we talked about me feeling like you needed to give Quad an apology." And you know what? Maybe Quad would have realized in that moment that she needed to give an apology as well, not just to Dr. G, but to his wife. Because you were taking a dig, Quad. I don't care what anybody says. That was a dig that you were taking. When you decided that you were going to be all kiki, ha ha, y'all, a baby Lunsford is coming, y'all. A baby Lunsford is coming soon. Ha 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 ha. That was you taking a dig. It was insensitive. That was insensitive to look at a woman who you know is going through fertility treatments because she wants to have a baby, and you're going to look at her and say, "Y'all need to hurry up and have a baby." That was insensitive. And now, when this man speaks up to defend his wife against his ex wife's foolishness that he knows is the antics that she likes to get up to, all of a sudden that's problematic because, oh, they shouldn't have come on the show. How y'all got more smoke for Sweet Tea and Dr. G joining the show than y'all have for all of Quad's supposed friends who encouraged them to join the show? So, King, you should have minded your business. You should have allowed this man to take care of his wife, to get his wife calm. You could have waited for a more chill time to approach him, but you didn't because you wanted camera time. And so that is why, in my opinion, in the King versus Dr. G situation, King was wrong. And another thing, y'all need to stop listening to Dr. Heavenly, who keeps saying Dr. G went and filed a police report. The man did not file a police report. He asked questions about if he could, if there was a possibility. I'm assuming that he could, but from what I've seen in the public database that is accessible to all these content creators who keep repeating Dr. Heavenly's lies, there was, the first time she said it, there was no documentation in Key West or Atlanta to prove that Dr. G filed a police report. And today, when you go and check the database for police reports and whatnot in Atlanta, I'm not gonna tell y'all my sources now, but I promise y'all that if y'all are willing to pay the coins, if y'all are willing to pay the coins, you can absolutely access information regarding to whether somebody filed a police report or not. You can actually get the actual police report if one was filed. It's called the Freedom to Access Information Act. Get into it. A police report was never filed, and I don't know why Heavenly continues to perpetuate that rumor, that lie. A police report was never filed. Y'all need to stop listening to Heavenly. Anyways, y'all, thank you for tuning in. Replay gang, please remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, now called X, at How I See It, and on TikTok at How I See It TV. Hey, to the trees, you just got in here, girl, and I am walking out. But I'll catch y'all in these YouTube streets. Let me give y'all another angle of Krusty Kirk. I was trying to find a funny name for him. So I was saying Kermit. Now I'm saying Krusty Kirk. This is another image of him walking up to Dr. G while Dr. G was trying to calm his wife down. This how you know this man is thirsty. Look at him walking up to this man at the wrong time. And then here he is again, still in this man's space. This man isn't even thinking about him. He's trying to get his wife to not go beat Heavenly's behind. And Kirk is still all up in their face, trying to get a moment. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. All right, y'all. Walk good. Bye.